Do you guys remember when I was excited about Gen 1 and then Gen 2, then Gen 3? Well, now we're at Gen 4.5 and things are getting pretty crazy. Buckle up. Let's jump into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Learn How to Generate Stuff. We've pivoted, we've rebranded from Learn How to Edit Stuff to Learn How to Generate Stuff. Why? Well, because this is the thing that I'm the most passionate about, the most knowledgeable about, and how I'm going to bring value to the community. The old editing stuff, it's all still there. All of my legacy tutorials are still available to you if you want to go back and revisit those. But from here on out, we're going to be talking about generative AI because that is where the industry is heading. That is what I'm the most excited and passionate about. And that's how I feel I'm actually going to bring value to my community and to other people who are going to be joining the community as I continue to make videos. So thank you for subscribing if you're new. Thank you for continuing to subscribe if you're sticking around from the Learn How to Edit Stuff days. But either way, today's a very exciting day. It is Gen 4.5 day. Woo! And I'm stoked. Now, of course, I can just show you a sizzle reel and be like, look at these outputs. Look at how cool this is. Look at that thing. Look at this thing. But that's not why you're here. You are here to learn and you are here to dive deep and get value out of this video. And that's what we're going to do today. Okay. We're going to create our own custom workflow that we can generate our own B-roll assets based on a single image. And then we're going to animate all of those images with Gen 4.5, and we're going to automate the entire thing so that it just becomes this fun, creative exercise where you're just constantly generating assets, and then you're going to take those assets and you're going to put them into your edit, and then you are going to edit stuff. But that's not why we're here. We're generating stuff today. Open up your Runway account. We are getting started right now. Okay, we have Runway open, we are in our account, and first we are gonna go over to the Workflows tab, and then from the Workflows tab, right across from where it says Featured Workflows, there's a button here that says View All. Click on that, and we are going to start our journey here with the Build Your System Prompt Custom Workflow. This is what I start with every single time because I want to automate the process of generating B-roll, and the best way to do that is to come up with a system prompt that kind of controls everything that we're gonna be making today, and it'll make a little bit more sense in just a second. But let's click on Build Your Own System Prompt. First, we have to click Make a Copy and save it to our account. So B-roll generator, click Confirm, and now we can actually start to edit this. So the first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna hold down Shift, box select these three nodes, move them out of the way, and then hold down Shift, box select literally everything else. Did we get everything? Yeah, everything else, and click Delete. All right, we're only gonna start with these three nodes. I told you guys that we were gonna get deep today. We're gonna learn something today. If you've never used a node-based editor or workflows inside of Runway, congratulations, you're graduating. We're getting right into the nitty-gritty. So basically how this works, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it, is you have a series of nodes and they can serve as both inputs and outputs. And how you add nodes to the graph is you can right-click on the canvas and you have access to a bunch of different stuff here. Some of them are audio nodes, some of them are utility nodes, some of them are video nodes, image nodes. You have access to all of that here, but you can essentially grab anything and then branch off of it and then add another thing. So if I wanted to do a text prompt into a text to video node, I can just connect those two there, and then this will be the prompt and this will be the video generation. That's basically how it works at a fundamental level. But what we're gonna start off with is creating our own system prompt. This little text box up here is the rules that we want the system prompt to automate for us. I'm gonna paste this in here because I already have it written. I will share this with you guys in the video description. I'll just put the system prompt so you guys have it. But basically at a very fundamental level, you're gonna receive an image, then you're gonna write new image descriptions based on that image to generate new images. And your output response should be 5 responses in JSON format. What does that actually mean? It's basically going to output a whole list, and then we're gonna use a series of other nodes to kind of grab information from that list to make our images. And that's gonna make a little bit more sense in just a second. So now that we have our rules, down here is the rules to create the system prompt. You don't have to touch this. This is already here. It's already pre-populated, ready to go. The only thing that we have left to do now is click on the Run button. And then this node, when it's done running, is going to create our rules that are gonna be used to generate all of our B-roll assets. So I'm gonna hit Control A, then Control C to copy, and then I'm gonna create a new text node, and I'm just gonna paste that in there, okay? So this is going to be our system prompt. We can actually just get rid of these if you want to, just so they're not there, so we're not dealing with it. So this is gonna be our system prompt, and we need that system prompt to go into an LLM in order to create the descriptions for us. So let's add that next. Right-click, type in LLM. We're gonna put a Gemini Flash node, and knowing that this is our system prompt, we are going to connect that to the system prompt input, and then we're gonna need a text prompt and an image. Those are the things that we're gonna need to put in here now. So let's right click, let's add an image node. And you guys are gonna grab the image that you want to use to start your journey of creating B-roll. So for me, this is my image here. It's this stylized kind of black and white, fashion-y music video type image here. So now I'm going to connect that image output into the image input of the LLM node. And last but not least, we are gonna create a new text box. And I'm just gonna say write descriptions. Excellent. This is the text prompt, write descriptions, using these rules and using this image. So now when I click run, this LLM is going to analyze this image and then use these rules to create a series of descriptions that are going to be labeled as ID1, ID2, ID3, ID4, ID5. We are creating 5 different B-roll shots. So now that we have this, we need to start building out the actual image flow to create these images. I'm going to start off by adding an LLM node, a text node, and a Nano Banana Pro node. That's what we're going to use to create our images. You should stack them just like this, and we are going to now connect all of these nodes together. This output is going to go into the text prompt input of the LLM. This is going to be our system prompt, and we are going to say, extract only the information from ID1 only and output it verbatim. Oops, that's not how you spell that. So we are now telling this node to extract only the information from this first ID and then output it verbatim. This is how we're gonna get our text prompt. If I click run, you'll see now that it's going to just extract this information. So now that we have our prompt, we can now connect that prompt to the prompt of the image node. And then this image, our original image, to the image input here. And then the last thing we're gonna do is change our settings. So let's go to our settings here. We are going to generate in 2K resolution. We're gonna do a 16:9 aspect ratio. And now when I click run, it is going to generate an image that is a close-up shot of the spiked plant on the left, focusing on the texture of its stems and the delicate red blooms at the tips. And here we have it, the close-up of the spiky plant that's on the left. It's just a close-up, all the details preserved. And now we're gonna animate this using Gen 4.5 image to video. So what we're gonna do is now right-click, type in 4.5, and we're gonna add text plus image to video. This is the video node here. And we are going to connect the output of this image to the input of the video node. And of course we need a text prompt, so let's add a text box. And we'll just say something generic like add subtle motion to the scene. Excellent. And now we're gonna connect that to the video node and we are going to click run, okay? And while that is running, I'm gonna show you everything that we just did. I told you, I'm just gonna keep saying, I told you we're gonna learn something today. We are learning node-based workflows. Congratulations, you've graduated to the collegiate level of generative AI in one single video. But let's just go over everything that we did. So we created our system prompt, and then we posted that here. And then we asked the system prompt to write descriptions. That's all it is. But it knows, because of these rules, which descriptions it's supposed to write, and it is referencing this image that we gave it. It is now running into this LLM node where it is writing all of the prompts, and then this stack over here is extracting that prompt from the large list of prompts, and we have 5 of them. Ian, you only have 1 shot here. I thought it was supposed to be 5 shots. Well, the reason that I like to do it this way is because what I can do now is I can actually just box select this stack right here, and just by hitting Control D on the keyboard, I can now duplicate this 2, 3, 4, 5. And now all I have to do is come over here and change the ID number in the very top text box. So this is gonna look at ID2, this is gonna look at ID3, this is gonna look at ID4, and this is going to look at ID5. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if I run all of these nodes, you will see it will extract each prompt from the larger list. And now I can run these image nodes and it will create 5 total brand new images that are based on our original source image. And then those will be fed down here to animate with Gen 4.5 image to video using this text prompt. So we have essentially set up a completely automated workflow, and I will essentially be able to run this as many times as I want, and it will come up with new information, new B-roll shots every single time, and then automatically animate those. And I'm gonna start stashing them away in my folder so that when I go to edit the piece that I now have 6, 7, 8, 15, 25, I'm just naming random numbers, amount of B-roll shots that I can use to populate my timeline, and it's gonna be really beneficial for me. So let's dive back in now that these are done rendering. And you can see that we have 5 individual image assets that are now going to be animated into videos. And of course, what I can do now is I can actually just come down here and click run, 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 run. Usually there's a button up here that says run all, and we can do that afterwards to generate 5 completely net new videos. But essentially now all of these are running and they're gonna be animated into videos, and we're gonna check back in just a minute to see what this thing came up with. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. We have a bunch of different B-roll shots that we have now generated from a singular image that we uploaded. These images never existed before, this footage never existed before. We were able to create it just by automating the process and creating new images and then animating them with Gen 4.5 image to video. And the coolest thing about this workflow is that you can customize it however you want. So this just says write descriptions, and the model is coming up with its own descriptions to write. So the plant, like a low angle shot of her, the plant in the background, but we can change this to be whatever we want, like focus only on the woman, right? And now when we run this node, it will generate all new descriptions of that woman. And then we can go over here and we can highlight all of the subsequent nodes that follows the descriptions. And we can click run 15 nodes up here. And that is now going to populate new descriptions. All of them are going to be about the woman. So you can see here a woman's face focusing on her red lipstick, behind the woman showing the wide brim hat silhouetted, hands resting elegantly on her lap. And then that is going to create 5 brand new shots of our character woman. And then we can animate those with Gen 4.5 image to video. And you can continue to do this over and over and over again, generating completely new shots of things in your scene. And then you can edit them all together, which might look something like this.
B-roll, we made it with image to video. 4.5, can we feel the vibe? Look at this footage. Damn, looks fly.
I told you we were gonna get deep today. I told you. I tried to warn you at the very beginning of this video. I said, we're gonna get deep. You're gonna learn something new. We're gonna get our hands dirty. We're gonna figure this thing out. And that's what we did. And the only thing I ask in return is a simple subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much. If you're new here, welcome to Learn How to Generate Stuff. If you came over from Learn How to Edit Stuff, welcome to Learn How to Generate Stuff. We're still gonna be editing, we're still gonna be putting stuff together, but the foundation of all of our learning is gonna be generative AI and Runway, period. That's it. There's nothing else to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. My name is Ian Sands. This is Learn How to Generate Stuff, and I will see you in the next one.